Good morning, class. Welcome to your English Literature live class. So we are doing this story, The Ultimate Sacrifice, right? And we have done some portion of it. We have read already yesterday what all has happened. So let us continue from where we had left. You people may raise your hands to read. And we'll start with Priyanshi. Yes, Priyanshi.
Shoo, and his wife and child. Yes. Oh, you will let me hold your hand, brave stranger. Yes, my sister, whispered Carton, to the very end. At that same moment, a coach was stopping at the barrier. The travelers' papers were handed out and examined by the guard. Alexander Manet, Dr. French, Lucy, his daughter, French, the child English, Jarvis Lorry, banker English, Sidney Carton, lawyer English. The guard was amused when he was told that the sleeping lawyer was drunk. A
All right,
foolish young
Priyanshi. You may stop here. So
yes,
now, if you remember, if you recall what we had done yesterday, it's the scene where Sydney Carton and a young lady who was a servant maid, right, of around 20 years of age, she identifies Sydney Carton that he was not Charles Dane whom she had met earlier, right? So she identifies when she looks at him, and she was shocked, she was surprised that this is some other person who is going to die in place of Charles Dane. So she asks whether he is going to die for him, for Charles Darnay. So Sydney Carton replies, asks her to be silent, okay, not to shout for this. And then he continues, and his wife and child, yes. That means he is actually he is helping out Lucy because he was deeply in love with Lucy. So whatever he was doing for Lucy's sake and his love, and for the sake of his love for Lucy, right? So that is why he's saying he's completing her sentence that he's not only dying for Charles Dane but also for his wife and his daughter. All right. So that is why he continues, and his wife and child. Yes. So he tells her that yes, he is dying in place of Charles Dane, for Charles Dane and his wife Lucy and their daughter. So then she asks, now she has identified him. So she now refers to him as stranger, brave stranger, because yes, it was indeed very brave of him that he was sacrificing his life for some other people, right? And he was not at all involved in it completely. He was an English person, right? Belonged to London, so he was not at all involved in this French Revolution thing. Still, he came to Paris and in order to sacrifice his life for these people. So that is why she refers to him as brave stranger. Then Carton says, "Yes, my sister, to the very end. To the very end. That means till the last point, you can hold my hand. I'll be there for you, giving you strength and courage. So you can consider me as your brother, and you can hold my hand till the last time, right? Till we die." Then at the same point, now the scene has changed, right? At to the very end, this scene is that of the place, day of execution of Charles Darnay and 52 people who were being carried to the guillotine. Now from here, at that same point, this is another scene, right, where the people are leaving Paris and moving to some other country. Okay, and and here a coach was stopping at the barrier. So there were barriers, there were checkpoints when the people were leaving Paris. Their papers were being checked whether everything is being performed in a legal or not. Anybody who is an aristocrat, they used to make sure that an aristocrat is not leaving the country, right? Because they want to kill each and every aristocrat and each and every person who was involved in monarchy. So there were checkpoints made in order to make sure that nobody is left out from being killed, right? And everybody who is leaving the country was not involved in monarchy. Okay, so that is why there were checkpoints and there were barriers to stop these vehicles who were used for transportation at that time. So a coach here, this coach doesn't mean the coach of the train, right? Because train was not introduced during at the time when French Revolution took place. So it was in railways were introduced much later in France. So these coaches were the kind of carriages which were drawn or pulled by The horses, right? So these were the vehicles. These were the vehicles which were used for transportation in ancient times, right? So that is the coach mentioned over here. And that coach stopped over there. Travelers' papers were handed out. So there were officials who were employed to check the papers, right? Guards were there. And when the travelers who were sitting inside the coach, they handed out their papers. Guard examined them, went through the papers. And this is what he is examining. Alexander Manet, doctor. The guard is examining, right? That one of the travelers is Alexander Manet. He's a doctor. He's French. Lucy is Alexander Manet's daughter. She's also French. The child, right? If you remember, Charles and Lucy's daughter was there. So she was English. Why? Because they got Charles Darnay and Lucy. They got married in London. So the child born was a British citizen. So she was English. Then Jarvis Lorry, banker, Mr. Lorry, he was a banker. He was also English. English means one who belongs to England, right? Like India, the people of India are known as Indian, therefore, and similarly, the people of England are known as English. Okay. Then Sydney Carton, lawyer. Although Sydney Carton, the real Sydney Carton, was there at the guillotine, this Sydney Carton is Charles Darnay in reality. Right, Sydney Carton, lawyer, English. Then the guard was amused. He was delighted. He found it funny that the sleeping lawyer was completely drunk. Okay, so and who gave this information to him? Mr. Lorry. He was talking to the guard so that he does not pay more attention to Sydney Carton, right? He wanted to distract his mind, distract his attention actually. Yes, Anvi, read.
A foolish young man, he will soon wake up in the fresh air of the country, said Mr. Lorry, who had replied to all the previous questions. The guard signed all the travelling papers. Can we leave, citizen? Mr. Lorry asked. Your road is clear. A good journey. Along
Okay.
the Paris street,
Okay, let's stop here. Let's finish the scene because in the next paragraph, new scene is starting. Right. So now, Mr. Lorry, as I have told you that he was talking to guard so that he can involve him in the conversation, and he does not pay attention to the guard to Sydney Carton, okay, who was there in the court. So he says that he's a foolish young man and he drinks a lot. Right, he's an alcoholic, and he thinks that he will wake up in the fresh air of the country. That means he is going to be unconscious for a long time, and when they will reach the countryside of London, then only I think the fresh air of countryside will help him to wake up. Right. So this is what Mr. Lorry said because Mr. Lorry wanted to keep the guard involved in the conversation and to distract his attention. Right. So then the guard signed all the traveling papers. He gave green signal. Mr. Lorry then asked if all the papers were fine. Then can we leave? Citizen, again, I told you why the people are being mentioned as citizen instead of Monsieur, right? So guard gives a green signal. He says that your road is clear, all the papers are fine. You people may leave. Have a good journey. So this scene ends. Okay. Yes, Sarthak. Read. Just a minute, Sarthak. Why
Yes,
do I
ma'am.
see
Yes, ma'am.
Shubh?
Yes,
Shubh,
ma'am.
why is your video off?
Along the Paris streets, 6 death carts rode, carrying the day's wine to the guillotine. Among the 52, some observed the sights along their last road with a steady, expressionless stare. Others still watched with interest the ways of life and men, some with their heads down and sunk in silent sadness. Several closed their eyes and tried to gather their last thoughts. One man is so drunk with horror that he signs and tries to dance.
Sings and restaurants. Oh, you can mute yourself.
Okay, ma'am.
Right. So now we move back to the scene of execution. Right. How many people were being brought? There were 52 people who were to be executed that day. Okay. So now it is said along the Paris street, Fine. 6 death cart roll, carrying the day's wine to the guillotine. That means the people who were to be executed, they were being brought from the prison on these carts. So there were 6 of them. Death carts. Why? Because the people who were being carried on those carts were to be killed, right? So that those cards are being referred to as death cards. So please write down the reason why these cards were being referred to as death cards, because the people who were there, the people who were being carried in those cards were to be killed that day. Okay, all 52 people were being transported to the guillotine in these 6 carts, to be transported to die that day in these 6 carts, right? Carrying the day's wine to the guillotine. That means there would be blood all around, right? So the day's wine that to the guillotine. That means all these 52 people, the people who are there in the cart, they are going to be dead, to be killed over there, and their blood will spread all over the guillotine. Day's wine. That means the blood, their blood is being referred to as day's wine. Then among the 52, some observe. Now here you will find the reaction, right, of these 52 people. Some observe the sights along their last road. So they were being carried, and they were not alone. Others were also acting as spectators, right? Those who were in favor of revolt, in favor of the revolution, they were standing there watching. This was their daily routine, right? Whenever these people were being brought to the guillotine to be killed, they all used to gather around this guillotine, right, on these roads, they used to celebrate this event. Fine. So some of those 52 people, they were just staring at these, observing the sights along their last road, right, with a steady, unmoving, expressionless stare. Right, they did not have any expression in their eyes. They were just looking at people around them. And then others still watch with interest the ways of life and men. So others, there were some people who still were interested in what was going on. Then some with their heads down are sunk in silent sadness. Some were so depressed and so dejected, thinking of their death, that they were just putting their heads down and engrossed in sadness. Sunk in silent sadness means engrossed in sadness, not speaking anything, not feeling like to watch the things around them, to observe the things around them, just kept their heads down. Then there were others who closed their eyes and they tried to gather their last thought. They were trying to think of maybe good memories or bad memories or whatsoever thoughts were going on in their minds, right? So they closed their eyes and they just read their thoughts. Then one man, he was so drunk with horror, that means he was so horrified and terrified that he turned mad, and he was singing, and he was trying to dance, right? So this horror of death, it affected him in such a manner that he went mad. So he was singing and dancing. So these were the different varieties of reactions of the people who were going to be killed that day, 52 people. So this is an important paragraph. Yes, Anushka, are you ready to read?
The people along the roadside are curious to know which one is Evermond. He is standing at the back of a cart talking to a young servant girl who holds his hand. He shows no interest in the scene around him, only in the girl. Here and there is the long street of Saint Honor. Cries are heard against him. Down Evermond, shouts an excited man. To the guillotine, all aristocrats down Evermond. Ma'am, should I continue?
Yes, continue.
He turns to the man next to him. Which one is he? There, at the back of the third cart, replies John Barsad. Down Evermond, the man continues. Evermond's face turns towards him. He sees the spy and his eyes meet for a moment.
Now you can stop, Anushka. Okay. So now as you see what is happening, that these people, they are showing different kinds of reaction, right? And the people along the roadside, they were very curious, eager to know. Curious means very eager to know which one is Evermond. So I told you that Evermond family was very infamous, known for their cruelty. So they were very happy that now somebody from Evermont family, see, uncle and his uncle and his father were already being killed. Now it was time for Charles Darnay to be killed. So they were very happy that the last person from Evermont family is also going to be killed. Okay, and everybody from Evermont family will be finished now. So the people along the roadside who were standing along the road, they were very curious, excited, eager to know which one was Evermont among those 52 people, right? So somebody tells, they are talking among themselves, and somebody informs that the one who is standing at the back of a cart, the one who is talking to a young servant girl, and the girl is holding his hand, so that one is Evermont. Right. So, and he shows no interest in the scene around him. That means he was not at all interested what was going around him, right? And only the girl, because he was now giving the girl comfort, right? Because the girl was very afraid, she was terrified at the thought of her death. So she asked for Sydney Carton's help. She wanted to get courage, right? So he was just giving her that courage which she needed as a brother, right? So he was just interested, he was just involved in giving courage to that young girl. And then here there were a lot of cry, right? People were shouting along the street of Saint Honor. So this is the name of the street, the Paris street, which has been mentioned earlier. So the name of the street is Saint Honor, right? Then there was an excited man who shouts, "Down Evermont, to the guillotine, all aristocrats, down Evermont." So down Evermont means kill Evermont, right? And he was so happy that Evermont is going to be killed now. And like Evermont, all the aristocrats will be killed at the guillotine, right? So he was very happy and he was shouting like anything. Then he turns to the man next to him, which one is he? So look at this funny situation, that he was just happy that Evermont was going to be killed, even though he did not know who Evermont was, right? So at one instance, he's shouting that kill Evermont, kill Evermont. The second instance, he's asking the other man that who Evermont is, right? So they were not even knowing who Evermont was. This was the situation during French Revolution. They were just being so hyped up that they just wanted every aristocrat to be killed. Although they were good or bad, they did not have anything to do with it. But the along with the bad ones, the good ones also lost their lives, right? So that is the thing. Then there at the back of the third card replies John Bassard. So the man next to him was John Bassard. If you remember, he was the one who helped Sydney Carton to get inside the jail and made this escape of Charles Darnay successful. So he helped them over there. So, and he was a spy, right? So John Bassard, he tells him that there at the back of the third card. So there were 6 cards, if you remember. So at the back of the third card stood Charles Darnay, Charles Evermont actually. Then he continues, when he identifies and spots Charles Evermont, he says, "Down Evermont," again. He continues what he was shouting, right? Then Evermont's face turned towards him. When the cart passed by this man and John Bassard, and when he heard him shouting, "Down Evermont," so Evermont, who was actually Sydney Carton, he looked at him. His face turns towards him. He looks at him, and then he sees the spy, and their eyes meet for a moment. Who is the spy? John Bassard. So he did not identify the man who was shouting, but he knew John Bassard. So when he looked towards that man, the man next to him was John Bassard. So the Carton's eyes, they exchanged glances, right, for a moment. Who has not read? Oh, yes. Hiral, you read.
The clocks ring out 3 as the carts arrive at the guillotine. In front of the terrible machine, seated in chairs, women are busily knitting, waiting for today's entertainment. Evermont gets out of the cart with the servant girl. He turns her back to the machine, which is already at work. Holding his hands, she says, "I think you were sent to me by heaven. And you to me, dear child," says Sydney Carton. "Keep your eyes on me, think of no other object. I think only of you. Will they be quick? They will be quick. Don't be afraid." They speak as if they were alone, eye to eye, voice to voice, hand to hand, heart to heart, two children of the universal mother,
Okay,
brave
you
and
may stop here. You may stop here. All right. So now it's 3 o'clock, right? And the cart, it moves. Just give me a moment. Now the cart has arrived, the guillotine, the place where people were being beheaded, right? In front of that terrible, that horrifying machine, seated in chairs. So I have told you that these people used to celebrate that time. Okay, so women were also involved. They were sitting, they kept their chair around that guillotine, that machine, and were sitting over there busily knitting, right? As if they are there to watch some game. Okay, so waiting for that day's entertainment. So this killing of people being beheaded, this served them as entertainment, as a kind of entertainment. Okay, so women were busily knitting over there, sitting, right, trying to enjoy the moment. And Evermont, he gets out of the cart with the servant girl from the third cart. He comes down, and as he comes down, he quickly turns that girl's back to the machine so that she does not see the machine, because the machine was already at work. People were already being killed, right? So he was in the third card. That means the people who were in the first and the second card, they were already being beheaded. Being beheaded, right? So he turns her back to the machine so that she does not get more terrified. Then holding his hand, she again holds his hand and says that and thanks him, shows her gratitude, and says that she thinks that man, Sidney Carton, was sent to by heaven. That means he was acting as a as you know, God's gift for her, because at this very last moment when she required a lot of courage, Sidney Carton was the one who has provided him with the courage which she wanted, right? And then Sidney Carton also replies in the same manner. He says that you are also like God sent gift to me, my dear child, right? And keep your eyes on me. Think of no other. So he wanted, and Sidney Carton instructs her to not think of anything else, just to keep looking at him, so that she does not look at the scene which was going around at her, right? Going around her. So the girl says that she could only think of Sidney Carton only, and then she asks, "Will they be quick?" So this is by this conversation, the author is trying to express that the kind of thoughts, right? The thought process of those people, what they were thinking. Will they be quick? That means, am I going to feel a lot of pain? Because if they'll be quick, that means that girl is not going to be feel she will not going to feel the pain, right? But if they will be slow in their process, then she would be feeling the pain. So very quick, by this she wanted to make sure that is she going to feel the pain for a long time, or she won't feel pain at all, like she will be beheaded in one at one stroke, and there will be nothing, she'll be dead at that very moment. So he says they will be very quick, don't be afraid, right? You won't be feeling any pain. And they speak as if they were alone. So they tried to ignore all the things which are going on around them. So they were speaking as nobody was around them, and they had maintained the eye contact so that they do not look at any other thing around them, voice to voice, so that they couldn't hear any scream or shout, because people were being killed. So they might have they might be crying, they might be shouting, right? But they did not want to hear anybody's voice. So all Sidney Carton wanted to hear was the girl's voice, and all the girl wanted to hear was Sidney Carton's voice. So they were looking only at each other, and they were hearing only to each other, and they were holding each other's hand, and they were talking heart to heart, right? Two children of the universal mother. Universal mother here is being referred to Mother Mary, Jesus Christ's mother. Sudhanshu, read.
Your eyes. Long is the movement upward. It's the momentum. Yes, we try. She is deeply or less goodbye. Knowing they will see each other again. Her hand does not tremble as it needs to, but it movement
Calm.
22.
Hmm. Yes.
Has
Please.
Arkansas proved to automatically his life, like a great mass of water. He repeated a line from the beginning. I am the resurrection and the life of the Lord. As he started down into the blood, he explaining
Basket. Blood
but it
stained basket.
explained but it. He too I wouldn't have far better less than I have even known. 23. It would be that night that when his hand was held up, his face was the most peaceful they had ever been.
Yes. Mute yourself. Okay. All of you may lower down your heads now. Right. So then she asks, she says that refers to Sidney Carton as brave, generous, kind-hearted, right? And she says that his strong face, okay, gives me so much support because she knew now that the person was not Charles Dane. He was there to help Lucy out, to help Charles Dane out, and that was a kind of great strength which provided this girl also with a lot of courage, right? And she asks, has the time come? So Sidney Carton tells her that yes, it is the time for your death now. So she kisses him and says goodbye. And they knew that they will see each other again soon. Where? Because they will be going to die, they will be dying at the same time, so they'll be meeting in heaven right after that. So they knew that they will be meeting soon again. And her hand now does not tremble as it leaves it. So she has been filled with so much courage and so much strength that now, when the final time has come, when she was going to be beheaded, her hands were not trembling at all. Right? So the shaky hands refers to what? That you are afraid, right? And when you have the steady hands, that means you are confident. You have courage in yourself. So now this girl hands were not trembling at all, right? So what does this mean? That Sydney Carton has provided so much strength and she has gathered up so much courage that now she was ready to die peacefully. And the knitting women counts 22. So these women were sitting over there counting the number of people who were being beheaded. So this girl was at 22nd number. All right, so she was the 22nd person to be killed that day. So the women are counting. Then, as Carden saw the crowd push forward to see him die, so the next number was that of Sidney Carton, and he saw that the crowd was pushing forward like a great mass of water. So simile has been used for the crowd which was moving forward to see Sidney Carton die, right? So that crowd has been compared to a great mass of water, like water flows forward. Similarly, the crowd was also forward. Okay, so when he saw this crowd moving ahead, he repeated a line from the Bible: I am the resurrection and the life, said the Lord. Right? So, I am the life and the life after death. So, that is what he repeated. This is a line from the Bible. So, he repeated this line, and as he stared down into the blood stained basket, so as you can see that when the head was fixed in that in the machine, the person could see the basket which was kept under that machine, and he was looking at that blood stained basket because already the heads were being beheaded, so the blood was there in that basket. And all he could think was that he was going to a far better place than this earth. Okay, and he is going to have a far better life than whatever he had spent on the earth, right? So after that, the women count 23. That means after this, after this Sydney Carton, is killed, right? He is also beheaded and he dies. So people said that night that when his head was held up, his face was the most peaceful they had ever seen. So among all the faces, all the people who had been killed that day, his that day or before, his face was the most peaceful. That means as if he was so satisfied for sacrificing his life for Lucy, that that peace was reflecting on his dead face. So he was so satisfied, he was so relaxed, and he felt so peaceful after dying, after sacrificing his life for the sake of his love for Lucy. Right? So we come to the end of the story. I hope you people have understood and enjoyed the story. Right? So thank you.